I've been hearing about Arch Manning for a while now, right? And if he were any good, he would have been the starter as a freshman. And that's facts. For me, who his uncles and grandfather is, there was a lot of uproar going on about him playing and possibly transferring because he wasn't starting last year and the year before that as a freshman. But if he was any good, you best believe he would have been a freshman starting at the University of Texas. It wouldn't have been no debating about that. But that isn't the case. That is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we see and are witnessing is politics forcing Arch Manning on the field as a starter for the University of Texas. I can see someone is being compromised. I don't know if it's the head coach. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's the quarterback coach or the athletic director. But something seems like this being compromised. And you know, it's funny, man, we always do these comparisons. We like to talk about black and white. And, you know, a lot of people like to play the race cards and things like that. But to me, this is an obvious situation right here. And it's funny to see how mainstream media supports the narrative of Arch Manning being this great quarterback that possibly be the #1 pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
He opened up the day Heisman favorite.
As the Heisman favorite. Based on what? What did they see? Because I did a little digging. And I went back to high school and I watched some film. And based on what I've seen from Arch Manning, if he is drafted anywhere from the first round to the 5th round, that will tell us whose side the higher ups are on when it comes down to the Manning family or Sanders family. First round would be horrific. Second round would be I don't want to start name calling.
They say teams
blank.
They say teams waiting for him. There's teams waiting for him to come out. That's what they say, man.
Teams waiting for Arch Manning to come out. Are you kidding me? What are they looking at? And that's what I'm here to talk about. The last name.
You know what they looking at.
Here to talk the about last name. Because I see mainstream media. Mainstream media found one throw out of the whole game against Ohio State to hype up Arch Manning. And they ran with it. Out of that whole game, they found one throw to hype this man up. And let me tell you, they ran that one play into the dirt. And they made a big deal about it. They made a very big deal about it. But guess what? Yes, the mainstream media are going to do what they do because they stick together. And that's what we need to do. We need to stick together. Everybody needs to stick together. But I'm not the only one who feels this way. Of course, it had to be a brother to speak up on a big platform because no one else was going to speak up on a big platform.
I put most of the blame on Sarkisian more so than I put it on Arch Manning. He wasn't impressive. Again, he was not impressive, and he's got to show up, and I don't want to hear another word about him as a Heisman Trophy candidate, a Heisman finalist. And
another word.
Nah, I don't want to hear that now.
Not one more word.
Show when you're the man every single Saturday that you can step up and handle your business. That's what he has to do, and I believe he will do it. But when it comes to Sarkisian, you've been around too long. And to go out there and call such a pedestrian game, I really, really was so unimpressed with what I had big expectations for Sarkisian. What we know him to be as a coach, as an offensive play caller, as an offensive coordinator, I think he came up flagrantly short, almost to the point where he was compromised because he was too busy in trying to protect Arch Manning as opposed to coaching him. And I think that that's the indictment to make on this particular morning. You can make a legitimate argument that Steve Sarkisian got just as caught up in all the hype and hoopla and everything surrounding Arch Manning as Arch Manning supposedly did. That's really what this looked like. He looked like a coach that was too preoccupied with protecting a quarterback instead of coaching a quarterback. And that's why I think that that played a role, obviously, in Ohio and Texas's offense looking so anemic. But we also got to give credit to Matt Patricia, the former defensive coordinator in New England, who's now at Ohio State. There's levels to this, and he showed on the collegiate level.
Now that's Stephen A. Smith. Of course, Stephen A. Smith has to be diplomatic and make sure he chooses his words correctly when he's speaking on a platform like that. And he has to say that the head coach from Texas is being compromised, trying to protect Arch Manning. So, Stephen A. Smith is trying to be diplomatic, has to choose his words correctly. And he doesn't want to, cause an uproar by using the wrong words. But it had to be a brother to speak up.
Man, listen, Arch Manning had a terrible game throughout the whole game, but he got the ball back with 2 minutes left in the game to like erase the rest of the game. He could have drove down the field, took the lead to win the game, and people would have forgot about the rest of the game. Like, oh yeah, he forgot about it. They would have forgot about everything else, but he got a chance with 2 minutes left and missed wide open receiver coming across the field.
Just like that.
3 and out. Well, 4 and out. 4 and first.
What I don't understand, because this goes way back. I don't understand the power of Archie Manning, who is Eli and Peyton Manning's father, as well as Arch Manning, granddad, right? Mm-hmm. So this Archie Manning is Arch Manning's granddad. I don't know the power and influence that Archie Manning has, but it's something substantial. Why and how he is so influential to football, I wanna know. I want to figure this out. Someone please help me.
Man, it's
I might need the internet detectives out there to help me out with this one and start the digging and figure out what Archie Manning's role is in the NFL world. Why he is so powerful and influential. Y'all please help me out and get back with me, because this is very interesting. What he has done with his kids, now his grandkids, his sons, that's what it's about. Sticking together, man, for real. Mm-hmm. And from looking at Arch Manning high school film, it's easy to see what you should expect from this kid if you were going to give him a scholarship and expect him to be your starting quarterback. Unless you're a coach that think you can make something out of nothing. I want y'all to see this film or this footage of Arch Manning in high school. Give me your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think? If you were a scout, how would you evaluate him? Does he have the tools to come to your school and be a Division I quarterback and start? Check it out. Feet serious, man. Almost picked. All right, that was Arch Manning in high school. That was high school football. Mm-hmm. Competition doesn't look too competitive, but, you got to play with whoever you got to play against. I'm assuming that was a highlight reel where they tried to pick out some of the best plays. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm not biased. I didn't see anything too attractive that justifies a Division I scholarship to University of Texas and being a starter.
I think that his footwork and him running around, that get people excited because he already got the Manning last name, so they already expect him to be the same as Peyton and Eli. But they like, oh, he could move too. He's gonna be even better than them. So they automatically assume like just because he could run a little bit. That was the hype last year when he filled in for Ewers for a few games. He had like a 70-yard touchdown run, and like that, I think that like boosts everybody. Like, oh yeah, he gonna be like Manda, but can move too. So I think that played a part of the hype on the hype train of Arch Manning. But we gonna see what he gonna do. That's one game, and I haven't. It ain't impressed me. It ain't impressed you. I'm just excited to see how he bounce back. And
But that's how they stick together. You find one little thing. You can find something good, and you can find something bad in everyone. You find that one little thing, and you run with it and hype it up to the moon and back. And yeah, like I say, maybe his size is attractive. His footwork and him running the ball is attractive. He looks athletic, but we're talking about a quarterback here. Quarterback, you know, throwing the ball, making good decisions, things like that, you know. And as of the first game of the college season for Texas, Arch Manning had a very hard time completing simple routine passes to his wide receivers.
that's true.
It was hard for Arch Manning to complete simple routine passes. And that's the same thing I just saw from the high school film. Nothing has changed. And it could be coaching. Someone maybe needs to coach him up a little better, because I didn't even see much progress. It seemed like he's making the same decisions as he made in high school. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it looks like he has all the tools to succeed. He has a big arm. He's athletic. He can run. He got a little agility to him. But he just doesn't have the pedigree that his uncles, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, had. You know, there's a difference. You can have the athleticism, you can have the speed, but you also need that pedigree and that heart to go out there and to be successful, you know? It's not just a physical game, it's also mental, you know?
Man,
and I don't know, man, how Granddad Archie Manning will pull this off, but I believe he definitely will get his grandson to the NFL as a priority. Ain't no doubt about it in my mind, you know.
Before the season, he did say he wanted to stay 2 more years, so he know.
They know something, man.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I wanted to stay.
To reality over there. They understand that maybe.
And people that understand that, maybe after this game, they understand why he said he wanted to stay 2 more years before he come out for the NFL.
What do you mean? The Texas Longhorns are in trouble right now. If they continue to go with Arch Manning, Steve Sarkisian's job might be on the line. You know what I mean?